some of
I
this
bet
gold.
so. Cool.
So we kind of have already a little bit touched on. How did you go for the week, Coralie?
So mine was um, you see what you expect and you expect what you invite, which sort of it feels quite advanced. I'm more I'm more at the stage of sort of seeing things freshly and like seeing my own behaviors and decisions and decluttering in myself of like and physically because you know how things you get a great big pile of stuff and then you're like how did that get there
Yeah. And what
and
do I
it
do
was
with it now?
years of accumulation of you know how you are in a relationship and all of that
Oh, that's so
taking
true.
ownership of your stuff. Not
Yeah.
blaming the other person. Yeah.
I love that similarity of like the clutter in your around your space is the clutter in yourself, and it's just accumulated one piece at a time, or it's like I'll
Yeah.
deal with that later.
Yeah. That
Mm.
might come in handy later.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had your perception is the result of your invitation coming to you as you sent for it. Whose manifestation would you see? And I translated that to my actions for the day every day was just to share love. And it worked out really well. On the next day, I had to go to Busselton, which is like a 45, 50-minute drive to do shopping and stuff. And people were just smiling at me. And I was like, yeah, okay. So it was kind of working,
Yeah.
just having that intention. So, yeah.
I had a similar one. You see what you expect and what you invite. Your perception is a result of your invitation coming to you as you sent for it.
I think we all pretty much had the same one this time.
Yeah, that was a
It's definitely
particularly good
cool.
one.
What was that?
That's a particularly good one.
Yes. Yeah. And how did you go?
A little bit like Linda, I started reading it over probably yesterday. I went, oh God, I haven't been browsing my Course in Miracles statement. And then I thought, oh, there it is. It's off. One reason I always have it on the right side now, and I put it up on the left, and I hardly ever look up that way. So, yeah, and I started looking at it, so it's all good. I'll probably redo
Linda?
that one this coming week.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. See if there's another bit of gold that comes up and goes, oh, squirrel. No, I'll have that one.
Let's see.
Linda?
So mine was in the same paragraph, and I had the whole paragraph last week. So you guys have read out the first half of it with yours for the week. So the rest of it is for you will believe in what you manifest, and as you look out, so will you see in. Two ways of manifest. Sorry, two ways of looking at the world are in your mind, and your perception will reflect the guidance you have chosen. So that covers that whole paragraph, and it's uh, I did experience all of that when I was in the food van. So it's interesting. I work in a food van because I don't. I'm not into hospitality at all, and I find people quite annoying when they I don't know. Yeah, you can tell who the people are from the city. You can tell who the people are from the country. It's a kind of a split line down the middle. But I did have this guy come up to the van, and I'd just been talking to Swabby's boss and his wife, who are absolutely beautiful people, and I was making their food for them. And apparently I took a little bit too long to do that because the next guy who served me said, I know that you know those people, but I've been waiting in line for the last 10 minutes, which was bullshit. He'd been there for about a minute. And he said, so perhaps you should just keep serving people and not talk to the people that you know. And I said to him, oh, well, I apologise for keeping you waiting. What can I get you for your order? So he told me, and then I went away and got it and then gave him his food. And he said to me, he tried to start again. And I said to him, no, I heard exactly what you said. I've taken it on board and I really appreciate you saying something. Now, how can I help you? To the person behind him.
Yeah.
Whereas, the week before, it would have been, I would have actually got a bit pissed off and Blondie would have noticed it and come over and taken over doing the order. So I kind of felt that, I felt that I'd learned something from it, that it was his problem. It was great that he said something, and I certainly did appreciate what he said, but you don't continue on with it once you've actually had your say.
Yeah, because you've got more people to serve. So
Yeah.
So should I be keeping them waiting in line because of him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
beautifully
Yeah.
handled, Linda.
So he was a short man with short man syndrome.
Mhm.
Well done, you.
Oh, well done, Linda.
Well, I was quite proud of myself, I have to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Well
should
done.
be. Should be. That was quite good.
Yeah. Last week we pretty much have dissected the paragraph that we were going to reread. Do we still want to reread it?
Is that that last paragraph, number 5,
Yeah.
where all of our lessons came from?
Yes. We can. It's only a short one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reinforce it. Who wants to
You
read
want
it
me to
then?
begin?
Sure.
Okay. Number 5, correct?
Yes.
You see what you expect, and you expect what you invite. Your perception is a result of your invitation coming to you as you sent for it. Whose manifestations would you see? Of whose presence would you be convinced? For you will believe in what you manifest, and as you look out, so you will see in. 2 ways of looking at the world are in your mind, and your perception will reflect the guidance you have chosen.
It's so beautiful, isn't it? Like, it's a fantastic paragraph.
Yeah, it truly is.
I don't think we need to dissect it anymore, though.
No. Well, we've all had great experiences because of it over the
Yes.
week.
That's another one that's highlighted. Stick it up on the wall.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to read number 6? Go, Coralie.
I vote Coralie, yes.
I am the manifestation of the Holy Spirit. And when you see me, it will be because you have invited him. For he will send you his witnesses if you will but look upon them. Remember always that you see what you seek, for what you seek you will find. The ego finds what it seeks, and only that. It does not find love, for that is not what it is seeking. Yet seeking and finding are the same. And if you seek for 2 goals, you will find them, but you will recognize neither. You will think they are the same because you want both of them. The mind always strives for integration, and if it is split and wants to keep the split, it will still believe it has one goal by making it seem to be one.
Hmm.
Was that clear for anyone?
I'm trying to imagine a time when you would, well, I would do that when you're seeking for two goals, but you'll recognize neither. I guess it can happen when you think, I want to make my life better by making someone else's life worse.
Hmm. Mhm. Do we get this, or does someone want to give a stab at breaking it down?
Or we could just move on, see if it gets clearer.
There's bits of it I
Coward.
like. There's bits of it I like, but some of it's confusing, like having the two goals but not recognizing either of them.
Well, I kind of understand that because if you're striving for something of the ego and you're striving for a spiritual goal as well simultaneously, you cancel out both.
Okay. Yeah.
You cancel out both. I've done
That's good.
this, I can't tell you how many years, but you cancel out both.
All right. That makes sense. Thanks, Gary.
Yep.
Shall we move on then? Carly seems keen.
That's just blowing my mind.
Linda, it's you or me. Who wants to read 7? You choose.
You go.
Okay. I said before that what you project or extend is up to you, but you must do one or the other, for that is a law of mind. And you must look in before you look out. As you look in, you choose the guide for seeing. And when you look out and behold his witnesses, and then you look out and behold his witnesses. This is why you find what you seek. What you want in yourself, you will make manifest, and you will accept it from the world because you put it there by wanting it. When you think you are projecting what you do not want, it is still because you do want it. This leads directly to dissociation, for it represents the acceptance of two goals, each perceived in a different place, separated from each other because you made them different. The mind then sees a divided world outside itself, but not within. This gives it an illusion of integrity and enables it to believe that it is pursuing one goal. Yet as long as you perceive the world as split, you are not healed. For to be healed is to pursue one goal, because you have accepted only one and want but one. That when you think you are projecting what you do not want, and it is still because you do want it, that kind of feels like the law of attraction or you're listing all
Yeah.
the things you don't want instead of focusing on what you do want. And it's funny when, as an accountant with a coaching kind of little bit of a background there, it's interesting when you ask people to set their goals, how much of it is, well, I don't want this, and this has happened, I don't want that to happen again. And it's very hard to elicit the wanting. Well, it's not hard, but it's a process.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how it's easier for people to list what they don't want than what they do want.
Mhm.
Do we need to break that down anymore?
Well,
All right, we shall move on to number 8. So, Linda, it's your turn. You got a short one. You knew that, didn't you?
When you want only love, you will see nothing else. The contradictory nature of the witnesses you perceive is merely the reflection of your conflicting invitations. You have looked upon your mind and accepted opposition there, having sought it there. But do not then believe that the witnesses for opposition are true, for they attest only to your decision about reality, returning to you the messages you gave them. Love, too, is recognized by its messengers. If you make love manifest, its messengers will come to you because you invited them.
So that's our goal then. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. The goal is love.
yep.
I'm just going to boil the kettle, so I'm going to put me on mute.
It all seems pretty clear, this section, doesn't it? Looking within.
It does a bit. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
You want me to read you want me to
Yeah.
read the next one?
Yeah.
I kind of want to
Sure.
because it looks, the first line's really good.
Okay.
The power of decision is your one remaining freedom as a prisoner of this world. You can decide to see it right. What you made of it is not its reality, but its reality is only what you give it. You cannot really give anything but love to anyone or anything, nor can you really receive anything but love from them. If you think you have received anything else, it is because you have looked within and thought you saw the power to give something else within yourself. It was only this decision that determined what you found, for it is a decision for what you sought. Wow.
Hmm. That first that first sentence is pretty powerful.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. Hmm. Happy with that?
Yep.
Carly, I think it's your turn. We're powering through this one.
We are. You are afraid of me because you looked within and are afraid of what you saw. Yet you could not have seen reality, for the reality of your mind is the loveliest of God's creations. Coming only from God, its power and grandeur could only bring you peace if you really looked upon it. If you are afraid, it is because you saw something that is not there. Yet in that same place you could have looked upon me and all your brothers in the perfect safety of the mind that created us. For we are there in the peace of the Father, who wills to extend his peace through you.
That's quite lovely.
Isn't it?
Mm.
I quite like this. The reality of your mind is the loveliest of God's creations.
Yeah.
Mm. I think this is something that I can use. Not that I feel like I get afraid much anymore. If you are afraid, it is because you saw something that is not there. It's like worry. What was that?
Yeah.
What's our little thing? My little thing. Do not allow yourself to suffer from imagining results of what is not true. I love that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Happy with that?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, I think we're just in the flow, aren't we? This is all
Pretty
just making
much.
sense today. Yeah. When you have accepted your mission to extend peace, you will find peace. But by making it manifest, you will see it. Its holy witnesses will surround you because you call upon them, and they will come to you. I have heard your call, and I have answered it, but you will not look upon me nor hear the answer that you sought. That is because you do not yet want only that. Yet as I become more real to you, you will learn that you do not want only that. And you will see me as you look within, and we will look upon the real world together. Through the eyes of Christ, only the real world exists, and only the real world can be seen. As you decide, so will you see, and all that you see but witnesses to your decision. I do have a question now, though. That is because you do not want only that. So all of our intentions as we travel through the world, if they're not about love, then they're about ego. And I don't think that's as easy to identify as it sounds when we're in this Zen state. Yeah.
Where is that sentence again? I'm sorry.
Uh,
Through the eyes of Christ, only the real world exists and only the real world can be seen.
but you will not look upon me nor hear the answer that you sought. That is because you do not yet want only that.
Got it.
Kind of feeling that it's easy. It is easy, but in a way as well as we travel through our lives. Um, Especially if you look at media or some of the people who are acting just from ego, that can be difficult to just come from love.
Because they don't love themselves.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another layer down from that. Um, because we don't necessarily have I'll speak for myself. I don't necessarily have a full-on um, consistent love affair with God. And as a consequence of that, that it's momentary glimpses that I have of that I only want that, but it's momentary. And then, the world's here and there's all of these bright, shiny objects that I get distracted by. Every time I sit in meditation, I know that that is my time to be 100% devoted and longing for the Lord and devoted to only that one thought. But yet I have hundreds of thoughts that come into my mind that I battle back until I can get to 15, 20 minutes, a half hour, maybe, of just really desiring God. So it it is about unhooking yourself from the desires of the world and hooking yourself to something that is still nebulous that you can't really see and oftentimes are inconsistent in feeling. At least that's my experience. And
Yes.
so the capacity to fully get into the space of I want only you, God, is is not as easy as it looks.
Mm.
I mean, I know what to do. I've had experiences that have awakened me, and yet I still have desires for the world. And as long as those desires are split, I realize neither one fully.
Mm. Thank
And
you. That
that's what I
helps.
think has been talking about through these several chapters about you negate both when you have a split mind.
Mm.
Because frankly, I'm living that right now. I've lived it for a lot of years, wanting things in the world, but wanting God simultaneously.
Yes.
Do you guys experience something similar?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the one thing I always ask for after my meditation in the morning, I ask for the grace to meditate well enough so I could see the so I could see the inner master inside of myself before I die. That's what I ask for every morning. And then the next morning I get up and I sit down and meditate, and I don't meditate any better than I did the day before. But sometimes I do, sometimes, but it's an arduous path, I will say.
Mm. Thank you, Gary.
You're always welcome.
I think we needed a little handbrake on our reading because yeah, it's all nice and fluffy, but there's more to it.
There's always
Well,
more to it.
when you try to apply it in real time and you think about devotion to God, I remember thinking, well, what am I actually attempting to devote myself to? And it's quite, in my opinion, it's um it's quite mysterious unless you're longing for it so hard that you start having these miracle moments where God shows up in very circuitous ways and proves its presence to you. But it isn't that there's an outside voice coming to you. There's an inside yearning and longing that has to be present for it to show up. It's almost like you have to attract it to you. through your own inner longing. And if you don't have that, you don't see it. So many people think that God doesn't exist because they do not want it bad enough to attract the experiences to them that would give them the evidence that God does exist. So it still is the same thing. It's coming from your own desire that you attract it, and therefore you see it. And it is the invitation that your perception sends out. And then the evidence will start to show up. But most people are like, I don't want to desire anything I can't see, I haven't experienced, and I don't even know exists.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's a point of suffering. Like
Is that
that's what
because of
suffering does. It
it,
forces us to look at God or for God.
is it also about fear as well? Because we were talking before about those things that you can't see, the things that you fear.
It's absolutely about fear. There's only two things. There's love or there's fear.
Mm.
Yeah.
We were watching Rambo First Blood last night. Swabby saw it swooping by and he thought, oh, we'll put that on for historical reasons. And that was the guys who Rambo's, trying to get them to stand down, but of course they don't because the egos have taken over and it's just become a mission now. Even though they're acting and it's fictitious, who knows, it probably has happened in the world somewhere, but I said to Swabby, look how much they fear dying. Like they played the parts really well. You could actually see the fear in them. They wanted to hunt this guy, but when he actually got them one by one, let them go. But you could see the fear that they thought they were going to die in that moment. It's like, wow, I'd never really noticed that before. And I don't understand why people have a fear of dying, although I used to, but it was probably in my 20s that I stopped fearing dying. So it did take us onto a conversation about, well, Swabby said, well, when you're dying and it all ends. And I said to him, well, it doesn't. Your physical body does, but your consciousness has got to survive. How does that actually stop?
I don't think it does. I think it's eternal.
That's right. Exactly.
But people who don't believe in their consciousness, that's why there's the fear.
Mm. Yeah.
It's really religion based.
Mm.
Well, that rules the world, really, doesn't it? No matter where you look.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't such a lie.
Correct.
No.
We also watched The Carpenter's Son last night. I don't know if you've seen that with Nicolas Cage in it. So that was a different take on the baby in a manger and his growing up. So that's, I'm not going to say any more, but if you do get a chance to see that, I thought it was worth it to see it from a different perspective.
The very best movie I've ever seen about consciousness, the truth, and God is a movie called The Shack. If you have not seen that movie, it's got Sam Worthington in it,
Okay.
the Australian actor.
Yep.
But it's called The Shack. And you'll have to watch it several times because it is the most beautiful movie I've ever seen about God, about Christ, about transitioning, about extreme loss and suffering, and the purpose and the lessons behind all of it. It is, for me, it's mind blowing because I've never seen a movie depict Christ and God and pain of the world so beautifully.
Mm.
How old is
It,
it?
it's it's got to be at least 10 years old. It's got
Mm.
Octavia, you know that black actress,
Yes.
the heavyset
Yeah.
black actress Octavia. She
Yeah.
plays
Yes,
God.
yes.
So,
Nice.
yeah, she plays God.
Hmm.
Perfect.
It's outrageously good movie.
Yeah, I have seen it many
You
times, many years ago. I'll have another look.
watch it again because it's got layers and layers
Yeah.
and layers of depth to it.
Yes, yes. I think it's Linda's turn. Number 12.
Oh, let's do it.
When you look within and see me, it will be because you have decided to manifest the truth. Oh, I've got to say, I just sharpened my pencil. I don't know why I didn't do it weeks ago. And as you, literally my pencil, as you manifest it, you will see it both without and within. You will see it without because you saw it first within. Everything you behold without is a judgment of what you beheld within. Lots of talking after this one. If it is your judgment, it will be wrong, for judgment is not your function. If it is the judgment of the Holy Spirit, it will be right, for judgment is his function. You share his function only by judging as he does, reserving no judgment at all for yourself. You will judge yourself, you will judge against yourself, but he will judge for you. Oh my God.
Hmm.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
The first paragraph is very heady.
Hmm.
Here's a nice reminder. If it is your judgment, it will be wrong, for judgment is not your function.
Yeah.
Then why have we taken it on as our function?
That would be our ego. We want to judge other people so we feel bigger in the ego's mind.
Yes.
But what is it you say, Gary? All judgment is self-judgment, or all condemnation is self-condemnation?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's that mirror thing, isn't it? You're actually, if you're sitting across from somebody and you don't like what they say or whatever, it's actually a reflection of what you're seeing in yourself. So it's actually a battle, you're battling yourself. No, I didn't quite put that right.
Well, think about it. If it's almost like everything outside of us is a reflection of some part of us inside.
Yeah.
And out of like if you're sitting at a table, like for instance, I went up to where was it? I was choosing to see beauty. I was deeply in love with the magic of the universe for about an hour or two. And I was up in what's it called? Bentonville, Arkansas, which is the head and headquarters of Walmart. And they've built the whole town around that culture of Walmart, which was actually one of the very nicest places I think I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in this world-class museum down this beautiful walkway, a sculpture garden, and I go to the cat, well, sort of like a little restaurant in this big open air kind of pavilion. and there's a woman sitting with her back to me in front of me, and I'm sitting here, the woman's sitting here, and Robert's off getting some tea. Then Robert comes and sits down, and within like 3 minutes, the woman turns around and she goes, "Could I join you?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So we started having this conversation. And what happened was such a miracle. I haven't met another disciple of my guru in 26 years. I've not met
Wow.
one other disciple. And this woman was a disciple.
Wow.
And I said, she's mentioned something about her spiritual path. I said, "Well, what's your spiritual path?" She goes, "It's the path of sound and light." And I said, "Huh." I said, "Well, what's it called?" She goes, "Oh, you wouldn't recognize it." I'm like, "I may." And she said, "It's called Satmat." And I was like, "Oh my God." So we stood up and hugged it out. And it was, it was like this little minor miracle that happened. And she had just moved there with her husband. And Robert and I are thinking about moving there as well, just because it's so incredible there. And I just thought, I felt so much love and connectedness there because that's what I was extending. They had this pond with big silver balls in it. It was called the Narcissist exhibit. But what it was the reflection, the pond were all these balls that moved on their own throughout the pond, and they would collect themselves in perfect sequence, like in chevron shapes and in straight lines and then in curved lines. And they would make all these different perfectly formed lines as they were attracted to each other, and then they'd form a line and a sculpture. And I looked at Robert and I said, "This is exactly what the universe is. It is like energy attracting to like energy, moving and forming shapes of energy that is absolutely to the orchestration of the cosmos." He was like, "That's a little deep." And I'm like, "But watch, just watch what's happening."
Mm,
And so we were in this very expanded space. And that's when I met this woman. I really do believe that that space that I was in finally attracted someone to me that had similar experiences that I do.
mm,
So it was a beautiful example of a little bit of this.
Mm.
No judgment, just love and appreciation, and then love and appreciation shows up.
Mm.
Have you kept in touch with her, Gary?
I have her information. Yeah, and I got an email from her this morning.
Okay.
So I'm definitely gonna stay in communication with her because first of all, I want to go back there, and second of all, I want to be around people like that. So
Mm,
it was good.
nice.
Mm. Shall we do number 13? Should we squeeze it in?
Why not?
Sure.
All right, who's turn to read? I've lost track. Coralie? No. Gary,
Yes.
probably. Is
Oh,
it?
who went first?
I did. I think Carly, isn't it you?
I went after you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll go. Here we go.
Yes. Mhm.
Remember then that whenever you look without and react unfavorably to what you see, you have judged yourself unworthy and have condemned yourself to death. Okay, I'm taking that one. That's mine. The death penalty is the ego's ultimate goal, for it fully believes that you are a criminal, as deserving of death as God knows you are deserving of life. The death penalty never leaves the ego's mind, for that is what it always reserves for you in the end, wanting to kill you as the final expression of its feelings for you. It lets you live but to await death. It will torment you while you live, but its hatred is not satisfied until you die. For your destruction is the one end toward which it works, and the only end with which it will be satisfied.
God.
Okay,
I'm
What's going on with
wowzers,
the ego
speechless.
then?
wowzer. I get this one. Oh, you guys
Linda,
can all have it too.
Amazing.
this is Rambo in a nutshell, isn't it?
Totally.
Yes, it is. I have never heard the course talk
No,
about the ego this succinctly before.
yeah.
Mm.
This is like
Wow.
full on pointing. Point, point, point. Oh my God. That was unreal.
Didn't we do this last time? We get to the last thing and then everyone goes,
Yes.
oh my God, that's the one we're taking.
Yes. Mm. Oh, I'm not sure if I want that one for my weekly lesson though.
Mm. That's the thing, if you take a bit of that, it could be a bit grim,
It's a bit
depending on how
grim.
you're feeling.
And it's funny how our conversations come back and this, and thank you for bringing out Rambo, Linda, because this is exactly that, isn't it? And it's we watch these things and you wonder why this guy's so scared to die, and there is so much death in there, and it's all about the ego.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
And that's the power of having these conversations rather than just reading it and going, yeah, I think I know what that means.
Yeah. Or worse, not knowing what it means and just moving on anyway.
Moving on, yeah.
Mm.
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 I was like, I'm not going to put death in my weekly thing. I'm going to have one about love. And it just reminded me of this thing that when our kid was little and was telling my mum about playing Angry Birds. And mum
Yeah.
goes, why don't you play Happy Birds? And so it's become a like part of our language. It's like that I'm like that, and I'm like, why don't you just play Happy Birds?
I'm going to stop sharing the screen now so we can do our lesson. So which one are you picking, Coralie?
If you make love manifest, its messengers will come to you because you invited them.
Mm. Beautiful. Linda's still deciding.
Oh, there's a few. That's
Yeah,
the
I know.
that's the thing.
Mm. Gary, which one are you picking out of that paragraph?
I am taking, I just put it up. Remember then that whenever you look outside unfavorably to what you see, you have judged yourself unworthy and have condemned yourself to death.
Mm-hmm. I've got that one down, but I'm going to go with the power of decision is your one remaining freedom as a prisoner of this world.
That is a very good one as well.
Mm.
But you know, how many of us, for me anyways, I look outside myself, I see a lot of very unfavorable things. So
Mm. Mhm.
I have to remember that I am judging and fundamentally saying to God, since it exists, it has to be in the flow of what's willed and what is supposed to be happening. And I'm fundamentally saying, you made a big fat mistake, you fool. So I'm not going to do that anymore.
You better.
That's hilarious.
It is a bit, because it is kind of hilarious. I mean, either it's all perfect order or it's completely random chaos, and whatever we're calling the creator is completely insane and ultimately radically cruel. It's one or the other. And I don't think it's radically cruel. I think it's in love and perfection. Um, some would argue with me, but I really do believe that to be true.
Have you got yours now, Linda?
I have, and I just having a look. We went through 8 paragraphs today, so that's pretty good. And I'm going for something very simple. When you want only love, you will see nothing else.
Beautiful.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. So good.
And my man's going to take me out today for fishing and going for a drive and what have you, because this time next week he will be on his way to Mongolia.
Woohoo!
So we're having a day today, and I said to him, well, I can forfeit being with my group today to spend that time with you. And he just looked at me and I said, all right, then we'll just go. It's no problem. And then he goes, no, it's okay.
Well, thank him for
I
lending
will.
you out to us.
I will. I don't think I'll be able to join next week, though. I've got a funeral to go to, very sadly. And so I'm swapping my work days around. And I think Swabby wants me to take him to Adelaide on Monday for him. He's going to fly over to Melbourne and then service on Tuesday and then work on Wednesday. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
How long is he going to be in Mongolia, Linda?
Well, at this stage, 4 months, but it could be longer.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, they're trekking over there. They're buying horses and camels and all sorts of stuff.
And what are they going to do with Mongolian horses and camels?
Well, they're riding the horses.
Well, that's
The
smart.
camels are going to carry all their stuff, and then they're also going to have a herd of goats as well, which is going to be food. If they
Wow,
can't
so they
catch
are
anything.
really trekking.
Yeah. Really, really
Wow.
trekking. So all the stuff
No,
went
thank you.
yesterday. It was all picked up by the people who are shipping it over to Melbourne, and then it's going on the plane, apparently. Yeah, they've done really well to get all of this organised in 6 months. Most people would take a year or more to organise something like this to this extent, but no, they've managed to do it, him and his best mate. So,
Quite an adventure.
Wouldn't find me doing that. There's no way in hell would I do that.
no, exactly.
Nope.
Well, he is quite the adventurer, and he's
He
never
must
done
be.
anything
He
like
must
this
love it.
before.
Yeah, it's a big adventure, really huge.
Yes.
So
Well,
good
wish
on.
him well from us.
Will do. Thank you. I will
Yeah.
do that.
And I'm sure we'll get updates.
Okay, gang,
That's
stay
it.
out of trouble.
Okay.
See you next
All right.
week.
Have a great
Bye.
week. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.